You know what keeps me up at night? The fact that South Park has been on the air for over 25 years, and in all that time, nobody has shut down Dr. Mephesto's laboratory. The man adds extra butts to animals for fun. That's his whole career, and he has a government grant. But Mephesto's just the tip of the iceberg. South Park has seen more unethical experiments than a Cold War bunker.
I'm the happiest I've ever been. Look, Ike, your daddy's a dolphin.
We've all done it. You know, clicked I agree on Apple's terms and conditions without reading a single word. Kyle made that unfortunate mistake, and it cost him everything.
What are you gonna do to us?
What is this? What's going on?
Turns out, somewhere in that legal novel was a clause giving Apple permission to use him in their latest product. And when I say use him, I mean surgically attach him between two strangers, mouth to anus, to create a human iPad.
You agreed to the iTunes terms and conditions too?
What?
I just clicked agree. I was in a hurry, you see, and I didn't know what I was agreeing to.
I can't even read English.
Steve Jobs shows up at Kyle's house with security guards and drags him away.
Come on, let's go.
Hey, now let him go. Dad! You tasered my dad!
You said we could.
The surgery happens off screen, thank God. But when we see Kyle again, he's the middle section of a 3-person chain.
Looks good, guys. Great work.
So that means one person shits in his mouth, and he has to shit in someone else's mouth. The guy in the front does his business in Kyle's mouth. Then Kyle does his business in the mouth of the lady behind him, and then she uses that output to power an iPad attached to her rear end. But Jobs isn't satisfied with only creating this nightmare. He wants to teach it to read. When Kyle keeps signing agreements without reading them, Jobs stages an elaborate fake rescue to teach him a lesson.
No, you didn't read it. This says we don't ever have to let you out and then we can do whatever we want. Damn it, why won't it read?
The episode does not hold back on showing what happens when the guy in front needs to use the bathroom. We see everything in graphic detail, and Kyle's face says everything.
Oh, oh.
The episode also doesn't hold back on the hardest choice to make. Should the guy eat cuttlefish and asparagus, or vanilla paste? Meanwhile, Cartman's throwing a tantrum because his mom won't buy him an iPad. She suggests cheaper alternatives, but ultimately, Cartman goes on Dr. Phil and says his mom is fucking him.
Yes? She fucked me so hard?
Everyone interprets this very literally and very grossly. Dr. Phil promises Cartman the first human sent iPad as compensation. Cartman is thrilled. Ah, no way, it does email and shits in Kyle's mouth? This is the best thing ever invented! The episode aired 5 months before Steve Jobs died, and Matt and Trey went all in portraying him as a sociopathic tech villain. But at least Steve Jobs made it about innovation. This next guy's been adding extra asses to animals for decades, just because, well, he thinks it's funny. If you've watched early South Park, you know Dr. Alphonse Mephesto. His life's work? Adding extra asses to animals.
I have created things that will change the world for the better. For instance, here is a monkey with 4 asses.
I wish I was kidding. Mephesto genuinely believes animals with multiple butts are evolutionarily superior. His laboratory is packed with 4-assed monkeys, 4-assed ostriches, 4-assed mongooses. He even bred a 7-assed Galapagos turtle and submitted it for a Nobel Prize.
And Alphonse Mephesto for his 7-assed Galapagos turtle.
He lost to Randy Marsh's unified theory of fart thing. But the ass adding is just his hobby. His real experiments get a lot darker. In An Elephant Makes Love to a Pig, his son Terrence challenges Kyle by claiming he can clone a whole person, and proves it by cloning Stan Marsh himself. A giant, rage-fueled Stan clone escapes and terrorizes South Park. The thing microwaves Kenny before Shelly beats it to death. Over the years, Mephesto creates a mouse-duck hybrid, a gorilla-mosquito combination, and killer mutant turkeys. Then there's Kevin, his assistant, a small deformed creature who only says, okay. According to background details, Kevin is a failed attempt to clone a Michael Jackson llama hybrid. What makes this disturbing is that nobody stops him. The town just accepts that the weird scientist on the hill is creating genetic abominations. This next experiment went mainstream and somehow convinced the entire medical community it was a breakthrough. Remember when Mr. Garrison was just the boys' teacher? This episode changed everything. and it almost made Trey Parker quit the show. According to the DVD commentary, Parker was so stressed he nearly walked away from South Park because Comedy Central kept demanding they cut the live-action surgery footage. That surgery, you might ask? A sex change reassignment for Mr. Garrison. Originally, they included over 5 minutes of real sex reassignment surgery, but the network forced them down to 3 one-second shots. Yes, we actually see medical footage intercut with animation of Mr. Garrison being turned into a woman. The surgery seems successful, and Garrison becomes Mrs. Garrison, convinced she's always been a woman trapped in a man's body.
Hello, everybody!
Mr. Garrison's successful operation was about to spark a whole new set of horrors, and it wouldn't stop with just one person. First, there's Kyle. He tries out for the All-State basketball team but doesn't make it. The coach tells him Jews can't play basketball. This leaves Kyle devastated.
Yeah, you know why? Because Jews can't play basketball. You're right. Jesus, that's no fun.
When he asks his parents about Mrs. Garrison's surgery, his mom explains that people get surgery when their physical appearance doesn't match their self-image. That's when Kyle realizes he feels like a tall black man trapped in a small Jewish body, and he decides to get a, quote, negroplasty. But obviously his parents refuse such a surgery, and Gerald goes to confront Dr. Biber.
What kind of nut job would agree to surgically alter my son into a tall African American? Oh, you're Kyle's father.
The doctor notices Gerald's dolphin t-shirt, and within 5 minutes of conversation, Gerald wants to get a dolphinoplasty to become a half man, half dolphin. Now that Gerald's had cosmetic surgery, he agrees to let Kyle get the negroplasty.
It was wrong of us to be so judgmental of Kyle. If he isn't happy with who he is, then who are we to deny him surgery that will make him feel better about himself?
Dr. Biber makes Kyle taller and darker, but he needs body parts. So he uses Mrs. Garrison's former testicles as Kyle's new kneecaps, and Garrison's scrotum as Gerald's dorsal fin. After finally becoming tall and black, Kyle makes the basketball team and goes for a slam dunk, but when he lands, his knees, or Mrs. Garrison's balls, explode. Blood everywhere. Meanwhile, Mrs. Garrison discovers that she can't get pregnant because she has no ovaries and no uterus. She demands a reversal, but it's too late. Her testicles have already been destroyed. Kyle and Gerald get reversed in later episodes, but Garrison stays a woman for a few seasons, deciding it's better than being gay. The episode is a cross between body horror and social commentary, and it's really hard to watch. But Matt and Trey's next adventure was pure gross-out maxing. It's borderline impossible to watch. So, picture this. The parents freak out about priests, a counselor interrogates the boys, and this leads to Cartman shoving a cheeseburger up his butt. But the gross part is yet to come. In the wake of the scandal about Catholic priests doing un-Catholic things to their altar boys, South Park makes red-hot Catholic love. But the episode is not like its name suggests. It starts out with parents in South Park freaking out about the Catholic priest molestation scandals. They hire a counselor to ask the boys if Father Maxie ever tried putting something in your butt. The boys have no idea what the counselor is talking about, and they're genuinely confused. Cartman, being Cartman, interprets the question completely wrong. He theorizes that if you eat food and it comes out of your butt, then maybe if you stick food in your butt, it will come out your mouth. He even makes a $20 bet with Kyle. And it works. Cartman eats through his rectum and craps through his mouth. Thus, Kyle loses $20 in the most disgusting bet in history. The Surgeon General declares that eating through your butt is healthier, based on nothing, zero studies, just vibes. Within days, every adult adopts enterorectogestion. What does this lead to, you might ask? Well, Martha Stewart demonstrates turkey preparation for rectal consumption, and it's on TV. She wraps it, bastes it with lubricating gel, and shoves the entire turkey up her butt on live television.
Whew. And that is how you eat a turkey.
Adults spend the episode having normal conversations while crapping out their mouths and into trash cans. They're discussing philosophy with literal shit coming out of their mouths. Father Maxie goes to the Vatican and discovers that every priest molests children. He tears up the holy document and says that by focusing on needless ceremony instead of moral lessons, they're just spewing a bunch of crap out of their mouths.
To try and live their lives by, they just start spewing a bunch of crap out of their mouths.
What was that last bit?
Now, enterorectogestion was disgusting, but at least adults chose it. Butters never gets that luxury. He's South Park's eternal victim, and was about to undergo something truly horrendous. Most people remember this episode for the AIDS pun, you know, involving Jared from Subway, but that's not the messed up part. The messed up part is what happens to Butters. See, Jared from Subway comes to town promoting weight loss, where the boys learn Jared's weight loss secret. Personal trainers that he calls his aides. they feel betrayed.
But the way that I lost so much weight was that I got AIDS.
AIDS?
That's right.
The commercials made it seem like anyone could lose weight just by eating Subway. And that's when Cartman gets another idea. If Jared got famous this way, they can do the same with City Walk. So they cut a deal for $15. The plan? Fatten Butters, make him lose weight through exercise, and then film commercials crediting City Walk for the transformation. Chef helps fatten Butters with massive portions. Butters eats so much that he starts vomiting. But Cartman tells him to just eat the vomit because Japanese girls do it. So Butters does it too. The fattening goes without a hitch, but the weight loss plan fails. They can't get Butters to lose the weight. As the commercial shoot approaches, the boys realize they're running out of time, so they perform liposuction on Butters, at home and by themselves.
Heck, I don't know about this, fellas. Hey, you're the one that screwed us by not losing weight, Butters.
The boys strap Butters to a table, stick a hose in his stomach, and manually pump out the fat. Butters is screaming and bleeding, and Stan and Kyle are yelling at him, but Cartman just tells him to shut up because Kenny would have taken it like a man. Midway through this nightmare, they hear a car pull up. Butters' parents came home early. The boys panic and bolt out the back door, leaving Butters alone on the table with an open wound, blood everywhere, and a hose still sticking out of his stomach. His parents walk in and see their son bleeding out on the dining room table. So they ground him immediately. On the day of the commercial shoot, Butters sneaks out of the house while Cartman stays behind. When Butters' parents call him, Cartman pretends to be Butters and abuses them over the phone.
While you're grounded.
Oh, gee whiz, I'm not watching television, Dad. I'm just laying around jacking it.
Jacking it? Jacking what?
Well, my hot, spicy boner, of course, Dad.
What?
When Butters gets home, his parents brutally beat him. Cartman sets up a lawn chair outside, sits back, and munches on popcorn while he listens to Butters screaming.
Now, answer me!
Oh, man, if I was older, I would totally start jacking off right now.
The boys do get $15, but it comes at an immense cost of pain for Butters. But at least they're children. Christopher Reeve was a grown man, an activist, and a symbol of hope. And South Park turned him into a baby-eating supervillain. According to Matt and Trey, this is the episode they probably shouldn't have made. And they might be right. But to understand why it's so brutal, we need the context. In the 70s and 80s, Christopher Reeve became Superman, the definitive version. He is still the best Superman actor ever, and everybody agrees on that. Except, the Henry Cavill fanboys and the Snyder heads. Their opinions don't matter. But Reeve's acting career was cut short in 1995. He fell off a horse and got paralyzed from the neck down, becoming a quadriplegic, confined to a wheelchair, and was unable to breathe without a respirator. The man who played Superman became a symbol of tragedy and hope. Instead of retreating, Reeve became a fierce stem cell research advocate. He testified before Congress and argued that embryonic stem cells could cure paralysis. At the time, President Bush had restricted federal funding, citing ethical concerns about destroying embryos. Reeve openly criticized this, arguing that potential lives saved outweighed ethical concerns. This shifted Matt and Trey's perspective. They'd wanted to parody Reeve but held back. Then they saw him on Larry King. They felt he displayed unwarranted self-entitlement compared to people who are born with disabilities. They felt he dismissed ethical concerns entirely. So they made Crazy Cripples, and it's vicious. Christopher Reeve comes to South Park promoting stem cell research.
Christopher Reeve!
Except in South Park's version, he doesn't use stem cells ethically. He cracks open fetuses from biohazard containers and sucks them dry like Capri-Sun pouches. Let's hope it's the strawberry kiwi flavor. That's my favorite. The sound effects are nightmare fuel. Fetus neck snapping, slurping, ugh. With each one, his condition improves. First he wiggles a finger, then moves his arms, then he stands up.
What an inspiration.
But he doesn't stop. He gets addicted. He develops superhuman strength, starts flying. He becomes Superman, except now he's the villain. Gene Hackman shows up as Hackman to stop him. Reeve assembles a Legion of Doom, including Butters as Professor Chaos, who whispers to General Disarray that they should stay out of this one.
Oh boy, General Disarray. Maybe we just ought to stay out of this one.
Looking back, it's even more uncomfortable. But Reeve as Superman, his advocacy, and the stem cell controversy, it's really what makes the parody so brutal. Reeve's experiments were driven by his desperate hope for a cure. He wanted to walk again so badly, he became a monster. But the next victim? He was just a class pet minding his business until Mr. Garrison decided to shove him into someone's rectum. Alright, let's talk about the most disturbing Lord of the Rings parody ever created. And yes, I'm including the X-rated parodies.
Take that, slave! Take it! This should get me fired for sure.
It starts with Mr. Garrison wanting to get fired for being gay so he can sue the school and get rich.
With all the new laws, we could never fire you for being gay. Now you'd be able to sue us for millions of dollars.
Right up.
For his science experiment, he takes Lemmiwinks, the class pet gerbil, and shoves him into Mr. Slave's butthole in front of horrified children.
Jesus Christ!
Lemmiwinks, no!
What follows is Lemmiwinks' nightmare journey to escape Mr. Slave's body. Lemmiwinks encounters spirits of previous animals who died trying to escape.
Lemmiwinks, you must find your way out of this place or you will surely die. This way has been closed off by the great sphincter. To escape, you must journey upward through the dark reaches of the intestine and past the stomach.
Huh?
Their skeletons are visible. They've been inside for years. The episode plays it straight with epic music. A great adventure is waiting for you ahead. Hurry onward, Lemmiwinks, or you will soon be dead. Lemmiwinks, 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 Lemmiwinks. Lemmiwinks faces enemies along the way. He climbs through stomach acid, he dodges obstacles. It's a legitimate hero's journey. Except the setting is a man's rectum. The journey takes most of the episode, with Lemmiwinks fighting for survival every step of the way. Finally, exhausted and traumatized, Lemmiwinks reaches Mr. Slave's esophagus. Just as Mr. Garrison and Mr. Slave are about to board a bus of the tolerance camp, Mr. Slave coughs violently. The spirits then crown Lemmiwinks as the Gerbil King. The episode treats this as a triumph. Lemmiwinks gets a theme song, and nobody acknowledges that a living animal was forced into someone's butt and had to fight for survival. And then 3 years later, Matt and Trey did it again. They put someone else up Mr. Slave's ass. This time, with Paris Hilton. Except this time, the victim was a real person, and she stays trapped. Paris Hilton comes to South Park to open her store.
She's super rich. But what does she do? She's totally spoiled and snobby. What does she do?
She's a whore.
When she arrives, her chihuahua Tinkerbell shoots himself to escape being her pet. Paris is briefly upset, but mostly annoyed. She spots Butters standing in the crowd watching her store opening. He's small, cute, well-behaved. Paris decides she wants him as a replacement pet. She offers his parents $250 million to buy him, and in Steven and Linda fashion, they agree. Butters is horrified when he finds out he's been sold. Paris puts him in the limo and starts driving. During the ride, Butters discovers that all of Paris's previous pets chose to end their lives rather than stay with her. Tinkerbell shot himself, Patches hung himself, Scramble slit his wrists, Cuddles performed seppuku, and Paris talks about them casually, like it's no big deal. Butters realizes he's not a son anymore. He's a pet. And if all her pets off themselves, he'll be next. Terrified, Butters jumps out of the car and runs away. Meanwhile, back in South Park Elementary, the girls are having a different problem. Bebe's throwing a stupid, spoiled whore party where 4th grade girls are trying to act like Paris, dressing provocatively and talking about being sexy. Their behavior is getting out of control. Mr. Slave shows up to lecture them about Paris being a thoughtless, talentless lowlife.
She may have money, but she's a thoughtless, talentless lowlife.
Paris challenges him to a whore-off and takes things to an extreme with a pineapple. Mr. Slave does her one better by leaping into the air and coming down butt first onto Paris's head, absorbing her entire body into his rectum. Paris meets the same spirit guides that Lemmiwinks encountered. They tell her that she must journey through the digestive system. Okay. The same song plays, except Lemmiwinks is replaced with Paris Hilton.
A great adventure is waiting for you.
The episode ends with Paris trapped inside Mr. Slave. So, there you have it, the most horrifying experiments in South Park history. What makes these disturbing is that South Park presents them as normal. Matt and Trey knew exactly what they were doing, but they pushed boundaries, broke taboos, and made us laugh at things that we absolutely shouldn't find funny. That's it for this video, but be sure to like and subscribe for more South Park content.